Magandang hapon UK, magandang hapon Europa, magandang gabi Pilipinas, at kung saan man po kayo naroroon, magandang araw po sa inyong lahat. Ako po si Rose Eclarinal, ito po ang JUANEUKONEK, Kwentong Pinoy, Kwentong Migrante, Kwentong JUANEUKONEK. Magandang hapon Jean and Crystal.
Hello, ako po si Jean Alcantara. Magandang hapon.
Hi, I'm Crystal Dias.
Jean and Crystal, punong-puno yung hapon natin. Una, mainit yung topic natin ngayon because makakasama po natin, pag-uusapan natin ang ethnicity recognition sa ESR or yung electronic staff record ng NHS at NMC. Ano bang kahulugan nito? Anong ibig sabihin nito para sa mga Filipino nurses? At Jean, alam mo naman, tumitindi yung bakbakan dyan sa Ukraine. Kaya kukumustahin natin yung kalagayan ng mga kababayan natin dyan sa bahaging yan ng Europa. And Crystal, ano ang meron tayo sa Immigration 101?
This is very interesting. We touched on last time na meron tayong sessions sa Immigration 101 and it's to do how do we change our name sa British passport natin. So stay tuned po till the end.
And Jean, ikaw naman, mahalaga yung role mo ngayong hapon kasi hopefully makasama pa rin natin si Neil Tero, yung correspondent natin sa Russia. Pero alam ko, Jean, magaling ka magsalita ng Russian, tama ba?
Medyo yan ang degree natin. So alam ko yan at sa totoo lang napatira din ako sa Poland ng 4 na taon. So medyo kabisado ko yung mga nangyayari diyan. Kaya nakakalungkot yung mga nangyayaring giyera ngayon. Pero at least makikita natin ngayon kung anong sitwasyon ng lalo na ng ating mga kababayan. Ang hope lang natin na maayos na sana agad yung war kasi baka maapektuhan din tayo dito sa Europa.
Okay, so mamaya po makakasama natin si Jean Alcantara and Crystal Dias. For our first segment, pag-uusapan po natin ang ethnicity recognition sa electronic staff record ng NHS o National Health Service at NMC o National Midwifery Council. At ang ating pong guest ay Work Race Equality Standard Clinical Research Fellow. Previously, siya po ay Deputy Associate Director of Nursing ng MSK, SS, and East Suffolk and North Essex NHS Foundation Trust. Welcome on JUANEUKONEK, Miss Louie Horne.
Hi Rose.
Hi Louie, kumusta?
How are you?
Oo, una sa lahat, congratulations for your new role. Paliwanag mo naman sa amin, ano ba yung ginagampanan mong role ngayon sa bago mong trabaho?
So it's great, Rose, because wala pang Filipino na nakakapasok dito sa Workforce Race Equality Standard. So basically, we set standards for how all the ethnic minorities group should be supported at workplace. As alam mo naman, dumadami ang ating mga iba't ibang lahi na sumasali sa NHS and private sector. And these standards are kept and they are researched, and every year we look at it, what's improving, what's not improving, and then we focus our actions on those things.
Okay, nabanggit ko kanina Louie yung MSK and SS. Ano ba yung ibig sabihin nito? Kasi ang naipaliwanag ko lang ay spelled out yung sa East Suffolk and North Sussex na NHS Foundation Trust.
Okay, it used to be called Trauma and Orthopedics Rose. So anything about bones and spines, I was the nurse lead for that. So MSK is Musculoskeletal Services and SS is Special Surgery. So yun yung departamento ko before I left to be in the national role.
Wow, ang galing naman. At saka, papakilala rin natin si Louie bilang isang officer ng FNA-UK or Filipino Nurses Association UK na aktibong-aktibo po ngayon. At ito ay na-organize nga, na-formed, especially during the pandemic. Okay, Louie, yung role mo bago ka napunta dito sa sa bilang research fellow, no? napaka-senior. Ilan lang siguro ang Filipino na nakarating ng posisyon na yan. So, ang tanong ko is, how were you able to do that?
So I was the second one. So the first one was Jenny. You know Jenny, Rose, diba? So she's ethnic minorities advisor for Ruth May for ethnic anything issues about ethnicity, about different international nurses. So mine is focusing on race and how we could actually improve the international nurses standing here in UK. So I would say it's hard work. It's hard work, and with all my work in the last 20 years for international nurses, Filipino nurses here in Suffolk, and that's how I was told of the job, and then I applied for the job, and thankfully, out of the many applicants, I was able to secure it. So it's great. It's time that we actually have a Filipino representation nationally, because we are the third largest group naman of nurses, Rose. International nurses, English nurses and Irish nurses being the first and second, and then tayo na ang third. So we are very big. We're around 40,000 now in the UK.
Wow, ang bilis, no? Kasi nung 5 years ago when I was doing reports sa nurses, parang pangalawa pa lang ang Filipinos sa Indian. Of course, pangatlo actually, Irish muna, tapos Indian, and then Filipino. So Louie, tell us, ano ba yung kahulugan? Ito yung ethnicity recognition sa ESR. What does it mean for Filipino nurses?
So being Filipinos, obviously, we need to be identified as Filipinos. So cultural identity is, as you know, very important to all Filipinos, not just the Filipino nurses, but every Filipino in a foreign land. So this is very important kasi for the longest time in Nursing and Midwifery Council and for the ESR, we are recorded as any other Asian. So what happened was with all this group effort, meron na tayong sarili nating category, which is the Filipino ethnicity. So it's very important because, you know, it's a Filipino is a cultural identifier. Malinaw na sa mga records going forward if it's going to be used for research, if it's going to inform decision making or action any change that affect the Filipino nurses. So all around, it's all very positive, Rose. And as you know, it's a sense of belonging. The very first Filipinos who came and joined UK to work here is around 50 years ago. It's just that in the last 20 years, dumami na tayo ng dumami, and more are expected to come and work for NHS. So having our own identity, having our own category as Filipinos is actually a very positive thing. You feel that you belong, and they don't just hear us, now they can see us in all the records. So it's very important talaga. Lalong-lalo na at sinabi ko na tayo ang pangatlo sa pinaka malaking workforce ng nurses dito sa UK.
Okay. So, Louie, syempre hindi naman yan nakamit ng organization who pushed for it ng overnight, So, tell us a little bit of the hard work that you guys put into this.
So, to be honest, the raising it up, the following it up, and the chasing it has been a group effort, Rose. So, first of all, I need to we have to acknowledge the two nursing organizations here in UK. That's Filipino Nurses Association UK, and then we've got the PNA, Philippine Nurses Association UK. But they've been campaigning for this for the longest time, and obviously Lisel Lungguan as well, founder and editor of TNIG UK, wrote about this. And when Jenny got into the role last year, she raised this as well as the ethnic minorities advisor. So I think the last push that we did was when I joined the Workforce Race Equality Standard. That was the very first thing that we worked on with the director, who is fortunately a Filipino ally for us, Professor Anton Emmanuel. So we work on it, see how it can be done. And I feel, Rose, that all these stars aligned so that we can now have this readily accessible. We have the power, each nurse have the power to change it now. in their NMC records, and in their ESR. So all of that come together. I think all those forces come together so that we achieve this now, accessible, available. And I very strongly promote to all the Filipino nurses in UK to actually change it and go to HR if they cannot change it themselves. I made a poster, as you can see, that's what I've given to you. There's a poster on how it can be done. So it's a group effort. It's not any one effort. It's being campaigned for the longest time.
Fantastic. Well done to you guys for making it happen. Now, pwede pang lumaki yung numero or yung number, Louie, kasi kung yung mga nurses na hindi pa nila na-amend yung kanilang ethnicity dyan sa NHS or sa NMC, pwede pa nilang gawin ngayon.
Definitely, Rose, because it only it's a good 3 weeks ago lang talagang officially accessible to. So you know, I encourage everyone, because not everyone naman listen to the news, not everyone reads these things. So we are getting in touch. The good thing about the FNA-UK is it's all the senior Filipino nurses all over the country. So kung meron na tayong mga director of nursing, meron na tayong chief nurse in Edmond Tabay, so they can all make this influence on how it can be changed. They can support our nurses. So ano siya, group effort talaga nationally. And it's a good thing because it started in NHS England. As you know, Rose, in England and in Wales, Scotland and Ireland, hindi pa rin, wala pa tayong ganun. So that's the next job for us to do.
Okay, so nasa England pa lang siya.
Yes.
Louie, you mentioned 2 nursing associations. You mentioned FNA-UK and you mentioned PNA-UK. Ito yung mga nagpagod at naghirap para nga sa kampanya na ito. But you were also mentioning about a group of senior level nurses. What is this?
So it's during the pandemic, Rose, kasi Filipinos were working in silos before. So there were lots of senior nurses scattered all over the country who rose up to those, you know, to break those bamboo ceilings. And then now directors of nursing, chief nurses, very senior nurses, specialist nurses. They're very good in their field. So when the pandemic happened, suddenly there was this demand and need for our Filipino nurses to be supported, especially, as you know, we've got several of our, you know, comrades who died during the pandemic. So this actually activated all this group that was obviously Jenny and Francis Fernando started to put together all these senior nurses. We put it out on Twitter, on Facebook, and suddenly they all kind of put their hand up and say, yes, I'm willing to actually go and support. So it's all voluntary. Hindi kami bayad sa mga ganito. So I belong to FNA-UK obviously, and then FSNA-UK. So we've got lots of advocacies for the Filipino nurses. So that's how it all come together. It's becoming very, very strong alliance.
Wow, that is good to hear. Ngayon, mas may inspire siguro yung mga kababayan natin na lalong-lalo na yung mga bago lang dito sa UK, kung paano sila magtatagumpay sa career nila dito sa NHS. Panghuling tanong ko sa iyo, Louie, ano yung mga dapat pang gawin ng Filipino nurses kung gusto nilang maging member ng organizations, kung gusto nilang sumali sa mga kampanya na isinusulong ng FNA or PNA-UK and the senior level organization or association that you're also part of?
So we're very digitally we're out there online. So there's a Twitter for both organizations, PNA and FNA-UK, and then there's a Facebook for both organizations as well. And then if for whatever reason wala silang ganon, they can just go to Google and then Google FNA-UK, PNA-UK, and obviously the FSNA is quite new, so hindi pa kami available sa Google, pero very much available on anyone. They can actually come to me as well. I'm very active in Twitter, as you know, Rose, and Facebook as well. So anyone can join. Obviously, they just need to link with us, and we need to be shouting for the Filipino nurses to be, you know, promoted, supported, and celebrated. So this is the time for us as Filipino nurses to come together.
Okay. Panghuling tanong, Louie, tawad na to na tanong para sa iyo. yung mga gustong mag-advance sa career nila in the NHS, katulad mo na malayo yung narating sa NHS, ano ang mga dapat nilang tandaan o gawin?
You know, Rose, 22 years ago, it is not as easy as now. So I always tell the millennials, the Gen Z, the senior, the FSNA are the nurses that's been here 25 years. And we paved the way on how it should be done. So it's still not as easy as when you're a British nurse, obviously. But it's easier now to actually talk to any senior Filipino nurses that you know, and we're scattered everywhere, and to talk about all the leadership courses that you can do, to how you can be very good clinically. We've got an amazing, headache specialist in UCLH, Susie Lagrata. So she's very good in her field, specialism. So hindi lang mga managers ang mga nurses ngayon, mga Filipino nurses. Ano sila, specialist sila in headache, specialist sila in Botox, so cardiovascular, tissue viability. Ang dami-dami nilang pwedeng gawin ngayon. All they need to do is link up, go to websites that actually supports NMC, Leadership Academy as well, Nursing Leadership Academy. Ano na yan, scattered na yan. Pwede na nilang maglagay lang sila doon, and then we will get back to them.
On that note, maraming salamat sa iyo, Louie Horne, for joining us this afternoon at sa pagbabahagi mo ng success of the nurses in the UK and also the organizations that actually pushed for the realization of this ethnicity recognition. Good luck, more power, and we'll see you soon. Salamat.
Thank you. And congratulations pala sa Presidential Award. I forgot. I saw that.
Maraming salamat. We have to drink. Have a drink for that.
Yes,
Salamat.
I'll go to London. Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Magbabalik po ang JUANEUKONEK.
Si Rose Eclarinal,